in the solarium, I decided I would give you a peek at how I'm going to have to be doing seed starting this season, spring of 2023, because my greenhouse was destroyed in a storm and will have to be rebuilt sometime over the course of this summer. I'm gonna have to move the whole operation indoors, and so, you know, what better room than the sunroom? So I've got shelves set up, I've got shop lights. Now, I know that a lot of people will use grow lights, and that's fine, you know, it works great, but they are expensive. And if you, like me, don't want to spend that kind of money, you can do what I learned from a farmer. He never used the fancy grow lights. He just used regular old shop lights, the cheapo kind that you can get probably from China, but you know, on Amazon in packs. I got a pack of 4 a few years ago, and I've been using them for years now, maybe 4 years, I think, and they work great. They work just fine. My seedlings pop right up, they grow big and strong, and I start out with the light itself about 2 inches above the surface of the soil before the seeds are coming up. And then as the seedlings grow, I lift the lights up to keep them about 2 inches above the top of the seedling until they really don't need the shop lights anymore. I also have them on a timer. You can see that. Got the shop lights plugged into a power strip, which is also plugged into a timer, so that they get a good 14 hours of light every day. And they will reach for whatever light you have. Now, yes, this is a sunny room, and that's going to help, but I've done this in a room that wasn't all that sunny. I've done it in a room that got only indirect sunlight. This only gets direct sunlight if it's not cloudy. I don't know if you can see me. If it's not cloudy, and only in the afternoon and evening, because this is a west-facing room. So, you know, I wanted to make sure that they got sunlight for the lion's share of the day. But yeah, I've got other plants in here that some of them I just have been nursing through the winter, just trying to get them to stay alive so I can get them back outside. And others I've started from seed, and I'm just gonna hopefully have some nice herbs that'll continue to grow in here. Eventually I would like to have some nicer shelves, but these are perfectly fine. Only challenge I'm gonna have at this point is keeping Saber off of them. But in the meantime, I've got a lot of seed starting to do. I'm gonna start with some annual flowers, get those up and growing first so that I can get them potted up and have them over on the other shelves. And then I will start tomatoes and peppers, cucumbers, things like that. But that's where we're at. And my seed collection is pretty expensive, it was expensive and extensive. And I've got quite a few different varieties of seeds. I've got some that I've saved from plants that I had received from people, and I wanted to grow new ones. We'll see if that works. Got everything alphabetical. These are all the vegetables. These are the flowers over here, and then more flowers over here. And then these are my herbs. Yeah. That'll be seed starting 2023. And I'll try to do a video, or maybe I'll add to this video of the seed starting. But you can go back in my videos and you can see how I do it. It's really not a complicated process. It's mainly just a matter of proper depth and spacing, light and water. Bada bing, bada boom, you'll get plants. Give it a try. Okay, as promised, I'm getting you caught up on my seed planting, seed starting, plant starting, whatever. The setup that I had to go with because of the greenhouse being demolished by the wind, and we don't have it set up yet. We're waiting until the ground dries, because here in Northeast Ohio, the ground is a saturated, mucky mess. You cannot really work in it for very long without destroying whatever grass is there. And we're trying to not do that. We had to do that when we put up the aviary because it was kind of an emergency, which was our own fault again because we procrastinated. But this is a matter of, it happened after the ground was saturated, and so we have not been able to build the greenhouse back. And we've been kind of playing around with locations. So we think we've landed on the perfect location. We'll see. Anyway, be that as it may, I have gotten a bunch of seeds started. I actually started with flowers, with dianthus and nasturtiums and some, well, the dianthus aren't up yet, but the nasturtiums and shoot, names escape me. Well, anyway, the flowers are largely up. As you can see in here, the dianthus are up. One kind, the Japanese pinks, came up sooner than the Barbados dianthus. We'll see. They're coming up, but yeah, they're taking longer. But yeah, I've got a bunch of calendula up. And rosemary. I have two kinds of rosemary that are up. This is amaranthus that was left over, and I will see how it does. I've split out the calendula in a bunch of different containers because they grew so well that they were starting to cringe. Like this one needs to be separated into a couple different containers. I'll do that maybe later today. Up here, I've got cucumbers up. And this is a whole tray of cucumbers. We'll see how they do. Well, the other side isn't all cucumbers, but this side is all cucumbers. I forget what I planted in the other side. I do that, and I forgot to mark it. So we'll see when it comes up what it actually is. And then over here, I've got two different kinds of thyme that are up. German thyme, it's German winter thyme, and Orangelo thyme. And then I've got seedling trays, flats that have tomatoes and peppers in them, and some Brussels sprouts. There's 3 different trays. Back there I planted some Indian tea, and it doesn't seem to have wanted to come up. So I may have to do something else. We'll see. Over here, got a bunch of flowers up. Whole bunch of them. Had to separate those out. And then some mustard plants. I'm interested to see how that does. But that's the planting so far. I did start some tomato vines that at this point I don't see any vining happening, but there's roots on them, so we'll see how long they decide to take to actually root. But all of my greenhouse supplies are in here, including my seed starting soil tray. And I've got all of the different supplies. I've got more trays as I divide out flats that have have happened with the calendula. It's gonna need those trays. I'm gonna have to separate them out pretty soon. I know I'll be separating out the cucumbers, the tomatoes, the peppers. They're all gonna be overcrowding pretty quickly, but I have limited space, and so I wanted to devote as much seedling space. Oh, it's dark. Find some sunlight. There we go. I wanted to devote some seedling space just to the seedling flats, and then if I have to, I'll move some of these bigger plants out to take over those spaces, and maybe I'll set up another set of shelves. We'll see. But that's the process so far. One other project that I'm working on that is going marginally not very well. I got more quail eggs in. I had gotten a set of 12 quail eggs. Was it a dozen? Maybe it was less than that. Last spring, and they never hatched. Got them online, and so then I went to a hatchery for these. And there are 14 of the 15 left. I had incubated them, and one of them was definitely empty. But the others seemed like they were pretty viable. But we are at hatch day today, and nothing. So we'll see what happens with that. I have to give them, a couple days to sort out their life if they're going to live. And I have been setting aside chicken eggs so that I can hatch chicken eggs, hopefully, in my incubator. Increase my flock. But I've also ordered 30 quail chicks. Hopefully they all survive and arrive just fine. And they're from a hatchery. And so I'll at least have them to get my flock started if these do nothing. But that's the status of growing out the farm at this point. We are making good progress. Spring is not here yet. It's only March 13th today. So we're still well away from spring, and things are still looking really promising. So I'll keep you posted as things come up. In the meantime, thanks for watching.